St. Patrick's Day fun could turn into a major pandemic problem.
Last year, bars largely shut down because of the pandemic for St. Patrick's Day. But for the fear of those looking to make up for lost time, a lot of people are thinking it's going to turn into a super spreader this year. Local 12's Tessa DeTiro is checking to see if bar owners and patrons are playing by the rules. What are you finding, Tessa?
Well, good evening, Kyle and Paula. So when we checked in at noon, we were in Covington. Now we're in Clifton. And behind me here, this is Ladder 19. This is probably the most crowded bar that we've seen as we've toured around the tri-state today. It does appear that the UC students heading in there do have masks on as they're going in, but it is pretty crowded out there on the patio. One thing that Clifton doesn't have that a lot of the bars we went to have is a big area for tents. So Molly Malone's, and even we went to a couple bars in Hamilton, they had an area for people to spread out a little bit more that these bars maybe don't have. But one thing these bars all have in common is some kind of safety precautions going on.
We're having a blast. Cheers.
St. Patrick's Day at Molly Malone's is a tradition for Mary Mazook and her friends.
We're all socially distanced. We're having fun with friends, and being an Irish person, it's like high holidays.
This year, the group chose to sit outside.
It's a little chilly out, but I feel a little bit better outside.
Kentucky bars have to be at 60% capacity inside. Molly's is at 50%, bagpiper and all.
They've made all of the precautions that I think are more than necessary, and we're just out having a good time, and they're letting us have a good time.
In Hamilton, Casual Pint set up this tent outside. People could walk in between the tents and the bars in the Dora district.
Have you felt safe today?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I do have a mask.
Owner Anne-Marie Silly says it's surreal to see her bar open this holiday.
It's a little hard not to get overwhelmed every couple of minutes because, again, we didn't know. We didn't know this time last year if we were still going to, if we could survive it.
Silly says there's been no problems following safety precautions her staff have put in place because they've largely become habit.
Start dipping the toe back in the water when people are comfortable. We're going to be here and we're going to do our darndest to make sure that people feel comfortable and safe.
Thank you. I did call Hamilton County Health Department this afternoon to see if there's been any violations in the county reported so far on St. Patrick's Day. They didn't have any yet, but we will check in tomorrow. Now in Ohio, these bars don't have any curfew and the weather's pretty good, so they might get more crowded as the night goes on. In Kentucky, curfew is midnight. Reporting live in Clifton, Tessa DeTiro, Local 12 News. Back to you.
Tessa, some of those people inside the restaurants look like they were pretty close. Is that because they were in their own family bubble?
Here at this particular spot, they're pretty close, closer than what we saw today at Molly Malone's and in Hamilton. So I just think maybe this bar here doesn't have as much room to spread out. Okay. Possibly. What I do see going in is at least the students wearing masks, but it's actually not the case at some other places on the street. They're not as crowded.
All right, just an observation. All right, thanks, Tessa. And this year's St. Patrick's Day parade was canceled for the second year in a row because of the pandemic. It was supposed to be held last Saturday.